Says live. It says I am live. It is Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Hope you're not waiting for a notification. YouTube don't hand them out. Alaska Blue, right on, right on. Sterling. Who else? Who else is here? Who are these people? Renee. And Michael Katt. Michael, thank you for being here. The true king of Uganda made it. All right, well, everybody, I promise a big show. The true king. Remember, true king, it's DBA, Sasha. Got to use it correctly, or I could be like sued upon by the real king of Uganda. So anyway, I promise a big show, and this is what I deliver tonight. I have been looking over some further investigation into TOS, meaning the only suspect. And over this week, I have found that he has, through his travels, and possibly lived in Rhode Island, Alaska, and maybe Pennsylvania. Now, going back some months ago, because I was looking at areas where he may have been, I did find a very interesting rape and murder that was in Pennsylvania, and I need to look back into that to find its location. But I do have that saved back in my Thomas Bruce file. So that was interesting, and the simple fact that he may have lived in Alabama. Alabama, that's a better place to look for unsolved cases. I mean, if you are looking in California or Texas, those, man, I don't even know where to go. It's hard to find facts on things, and a lot of them is just names and unsolved, but it doesn't really give anything into the method of operation, and that's firstly what I'm looking at. Hey, Katie. Kim on the trail, or on the trail, Kim. I want you to say that proper. Oh, hang on. You know what? Allow me a quick second to kill the AC. I know that it does not sound good on the microphone. And I'll probably be okay without AC for a minute or two. Also, this week, I have been talking to Ms. Cav quite often. Incognito, I was talking with her as well. Sapphire. Peaches, wow. Man, everybody's showing up. Hang on. Camera adjustment. Nobody wants to look at my wall. In the house. Renee. Wow, look at all these people. Man, I'm a little nervous. So, as stated many times over the last, well, I say 16 months, but it goes back a little bit longer than that because I see 2, 5, 6. Wow, that would be about 17 months total that I had been on repeat. I have found like some new information, and most of that was like the other 2 cases. But of course, I say that he was involved with that because it does fit his method of operation, where he lived at, and the fact that Mary Pryor and Ann Pates both had DNA and fingerprints that were left at the scene, but there was no one to point a finger to. In Delphi, they said that we have DNA. I say they as well have fingerprints because I was told that he had never been caught committing a crime by Trooper Kim Riley. And in order to say that, you really got to have something more than DNA. DNA only gives you various crimes that they may have committed, where fingerprints are always taken upon an arrest. So to say that the man had never committed it or never been caught committing a crime before totally says to me, screams, we have fingerprints too. So the simple fact of Mary Pryor and Ann Pates, both those rapes and murders were committed 2 years apart in Genesee County, Michigan, in small towns. I think neither one of them's population exceeds 700. I could be wrong, but they're very little towns. And that pointed to me at the same person because he was living there in Flint. The one, 2 o'clock in the morning, was on Highway 58, 2 miles east of Montrose, his hometown. While he was living in Flint, bars closed at 2 o'clock. Right after 2 o'clock, she was broke down on the highway, found the next morning with her neck slit, brutally raped, murdered, DNA, and fingerprints. So, wait, is somebody else here? Oh, Polly? Hey, man, thanks here. Juan Love. No, you didn't miss anything, man. In fact, you arrived just in time, Juan. Totally on time. So, that's what I'm going to be talking about this week is this new information. Now, just to be clear, it's nothing really new. It just adds upon what I've kind of already mentioned in the past, because I don't think that I missed too much. In fact, if I was to think of a question, again, if I was to sit down and think, it would be great if somebody asked me this, I would have already gave that information out. But there isn't anything that I can think of, because any question that would be relative to this investigation where I'm concerned, only law enforcement knows that. And law enforcement is not going to give that up for all the right reasons. David Welsh. Where? Oh, hey, David Welsh, man. Ladies and gentlemen, David Welsh. Look, the greatest drummer. The greatest, man. Man, you know what? I need to get some video of him playing. Just mind-blowing. Mind-blowing, man. You know what? And with Neil Peart now dead, you know, he's probably the greatest drummer alive. Just throwing it out there, man. So, anywho, quick second, man. You know, it's Dr. K moment. Yeah, thank you, Sterling. There it is. Dave, take it away, man. Yeah, he's the leader of the King Katt band, you know. So, right on, man. Look at this. Everybody's showing up, man. You guys are fantastic. Probably never say that enough to you. So, anywho, back to that. I was looking over, and Ms. Katt was looking over, the places where he's resided at in the past, and it is very lengthy. Very, very lengthy. I think that she told me today that she'd found 26 separate addresses, and she didn't think that that was the total. But mind you, he was in the military, and in the military, you do change like locations a lot. It's like if you get stationed from one place to another place, when you get there, normally until your stuff arrives that's being sent by the military, you will house in an area. Then when the military gets all your stuff sent there, then you go into base housing or a separate location. So he was constantly on the move. Now, with his MO, it seems to me that the two things that happen are, one, he's on like public land, like a park, low traveled areas where that, like if somebody showed up that was befitting of a victim for him, there wouldn't be other people right behind him, you know, not really high traffic areas. Secondly, it's kind of an opportunity thing. When he's a little drunk, when he's got that courage, when his mind is set on doing these things, an opportunity arises, just like with Ann Pates, Mary Pryor. I could use the 77-year-old lady there in St. Louis as the same, where he was knocking on doors. It comes down to, there's the opportunity. Nobody's watching. I can get in and get out of here before the, you know, cops could come or anybody would know who I am and be long gone. That's what makes his crimes brazen. You know, that's how he goes and pulls these off in the middle of the day. Now, not all of them were in the daytime. Ann Pates and Mary Pryor were nighttime. But again, those were opportunity. When he's out looking for something to happen, again, man, I mean, I use like Evansville and Delphi. It was places where he could go to pick up on opportunity. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Sasha. He really does. And the thing is that when he has that, you know, upstairs mentally, and the alcohol certainly encourages that, you know, and that's why these are brazen. That's why he gets in, pulls it off, and leaves. And, you know, if it wasn't for the two people that saw him, and Libby, and Libby with the cell phone, because that certainly helped. You know, having the video, the pictures, his voice. Of course, you got the lady walking her dogs, flannel shirt guy. They both seen him. Other people were saying something about a young couple that seen him. But I mean, here's the deal. I buy into that X far because they never said a young couple. Law enforcement never did. We have talked and spoken to and know of the two people that we know that saw him. But this couple at the bridge, whenever they say, I read it on this site, okay, I say, okay, well, law enforcement never released that. Did they make that part up? You know, did they just say a couple seen him? I'm like, oh, yeah, they were there right after the, you know, I mean, because I never heard him say that. I never heard this couple say that. I never heard law enforcement mention a couple. So when I hear somebody say a couple, I want to know, how do you know that? You know, how do you know this couple said that? Because I never seen it and never heard it from law enforcement. Now, law enforcement as well never said flannel shirt guy. I'm not giving his real name, but I know it. They never mentioned the lady walking her dogs. I know that name. She used to live on the other side and moved because she knew and had spoken with the suspect. Okay. She knew, because she was walking her dogs, that that suspect knew where she lived. And she also knew that that suspect, if they gave a sketch, that it came from her. And she was very concerned that he would go back there and do her harm or kill her. And she was not comfortable with that. And she did not immediately come out, or at least that's what law enforcement said, and tell them what she knew. She actually waited some time because she was fearful. Now, those I do know of. And I mean, like, I understand, you know, well, her thoughts on being scared anyway, because at that time, in knowing, you have a guy that killed 2 young girls. You have a guy that he knows where you live. He knows that you saw and spoke with him and gave details. I would have to have like armed security around my house, you know, but she did move because she was quite frightened, rightfully. So, anywho, that is the basis for tonight's show. I do have a couple callers that we're going to call in tonight. I will be waiting on that because we did want to cover together some of the aspects that I was speaking on. Now, with that, if anybody has any questions in chat, hey, Quinny, no, I don't think I've seen you here before. Burke, Devlin, how you doing, man? Oh, very, very cool. It's very awesome, Mr. Bird. Yeah, is this the first time you've been here, Bird? I think I've seen your name. I'm pretty sure that I have, in fact. Okay, I see. Lafayette shenanigans. Man, can I tell you about some? I've been there. I did a weekend for trespassing. I was on the railroad tracks. Reality check. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, crap. See, when people show up with the name like Reality Check and say, hi, Mike Katt, you know. What? Hang on. Oh, not in jail, I do hope. I hope you don't live in jail. You know, Stu, look, here's kind of the deal with Stu. That guy's a little out there. I mean, he really is. Is he going to celebrate? You know what? I don't know. I have no idea. In fact, I kind of wrote that off long ago when I gave him the boot on my channel. I don't, look, it goes down like this. A person can believe and say as they like. If they want to come on my channel and challenge what I'm saying, fantastic. I'm all about that. People got this whole thought process here that if a person does not agree with me, I give them the boot. Not true at all. In fact, if a person disagrees with me, I very much want to hear what they say. Okay, I want to hear what they got to say. I want to see what evidence that they're using to come up with that, because that may very well help me. But the thing is, when somebody comes on here, it's not Thomas Bruce. Okay? I'm halting the show. Why? His hair's gray. Bye. Have a good day. You got to leave, man, because that person is not dealing with the same realities I am at all. And again, right now, if I need to go pull up that newest picture of him, you will see that the sides of his hair right here are dark. And if you go back to early 2017, were darker. If you go back to 2015, they were very dark because he was graying. After the crime, remember, everybody, very much remember, law enforcement said the suspect is probably changing their appearance, such as shaving, haircut, this, that, trying to make themselves look different than the bridge guy photos. So that is what it is. He was graying, he shaved his head, and everybody hops on some stupid thing like that, man. Like, he's got gray hair, you're stupid. Well, why are you even at my channel? Don't you have other things to do? Don't you? God, man. I remember back when I used to watch television, and there were shows on that I didn't like. Well, what I did was I turned the channel because I wasn't going to be a stupid ass to sit there and watch the show I didn't like. So if you come onto my show to be like that, then I must wonder, man, has quarantine got you down? Do you not have a life to live? Isn't there anything that you could be doing rather than just being a douchebag on my channel? Because look, man, I'm dealing with facts, evidence, circumstances here. I pieced everything together in a pretty logical way, not to be braggadocio, but I think I did pretty damn well at it. I don't see others following what I did. In fact, most everybody else says, no, they would have said so. You're stupid. Fine. But for the love of God, take your ass off my channel because you're really screwing with my reality. And what's reality? I can't cut him out. 7 dislikes. That's it. That's it. Man, I sent more people on than 7. Look, people, make other accounts. You can click through them quickly and give me a bunch of dislikes if you want to. Man, I respect every view. Every view. Wolf does too. Look, man, if I had like 3,000 dislikes, hell yes. I love that. Up what you're doing, trolls. Don't sit around like a bunch of do-nothings. For the love of God, if you really want to show the world that my channel sucks so bad, make a bunch of accounts. Give me like tremendous thumbs down. And it's all views. So I'm not going to complain. But for those of you that showed up to watch the show, if you're not like clicking the like button, it's like if I was at your channel, I would have liked it and shared it. That's how I operate. Ask Alaska. I mean, and incognito. I do. Hold on. Someone's calling. This may be important. It is important. Hello.
Hey, Katt.
Hey.
You doing?
Sorry, everyone. Sorry. I hit a button. Okay. Anyhow, Miss Cav is with us on the phone, everybody. How are you doing this evening, Miss Cavalier?
I'm doing really well, but it's usually me that hits the wrong button.
I hit the mouse button and it said bye, backspace, right back to the beginning. I just took off for a second, man. Just for a second. I'm back. So what's going on?
Well, I've been doing a lot of reading.
I know.
A lot of reading.
A lot of reading.
I have a problem. And I was wondering if maybe somebody out there can help me interpret, or maybe somebody knows a lot that I don't. which some days it doesn't take a lot.
That's not true.
Do you have a picture or the video of Bridge Guy?
Yeah, I got it on a screen recorder. I saved it back when they first came out with it.
Well, there were two versions of it, and
two.
Yeah, I think law enforcement put a barrier up right after they released it at first, so there wouldn't be a question about something that was on the left side of the screen.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
You know, and it wasn't anything when it came right down to it. But
right.
Just below that, I was wondering if anybody could tell me if those numbers in the corner, lower left-hand corner of the screen, what they mean. I'm really confused because there's a whole bunch of differing opinions when I ask people who are supposed to be experts. You know what I mean? Nobody agrees.
Hang on. Let me pull up my the screen recorder here real quick. Wait. Hold on 1 second here. Pull a video.
Because I'll tell you something, the numbers down there don't make sense to me.
The numbers?
Yeah, there's some numbers down in the left-hand corner of the screen.
Hang
that
on.
I just don't get.
Can you see my I mean, are you watching the video?
I can't watch the video and talk where I'm at.
Okay. I got the video. Hang on a second. Well, this right here. No, this is the share that I did. Which numbers?
Okay, it would be the lower. Well, let me kind of take that back. It might be the whole bottom shit and cherie, if I can say that.
Yeah, you can. I'm not going to be monetized, I'll guarantee you.
Oh, no. Did that cost you?
Cost me? No, I said I'm not going to be monetized. YouTube doesn't monetize videos anymore. They just don't. They say they got people watching your videos at minimum wage so they don't have to pay you. I'm like, yeah, whatever, man. You know, whatever gets you to, man. But I don't really see any numbers there. I mean, 0.00009, but hang on a minute. Let me go back to the thing and hold on a second.
No,
everybody.
There's a series of
1 second. Let me pull the website up. Brief minute. I think it was Indiana State Police. No, Indiana.gov. Oh, well, hold on. Let me enlarge this where people can see it.
Well, I'm kind of confused because what I'm doing right now is kind of ripping things apart and trying to make sense out of every bit of evidence and some rumors and some other kind of stuff that I didn't look at before, and now I'm looking at.
hang on. I don't know if all these are the same or not. Well, what I'm looking at, I mean, where did you get the video? Where are you talking about him walking, right?
Yeah, the frames that they put together that last just a couple, 3 seconds. And I have seen this so many times that it's just out there.
Okay, what are the numbers?
Ooh, if I lose you, I'll call you back because I do have a copy of it.
Okay.
And I have been known to hit the wrong button.
I just
I'm
did
known
it.
for hitting the wrong button. You are not.
Hey.
But let me see if I can look at it.
Okay.
And I'll just tell you the numbers.
All right.
While I'm looking at the video. Hold on.
Sounds good. Because yeah, anything with the video.
Go.
Nancy. Melvina. Reality check. Look at all the people, man. 69 people, man. Thank you all for being here, man. This makes my Tuesday. It really does. Really does. I mean, I do one live show a week.
I'm getting there. Hold on.
I was waiting. I was just talking to people. Hang on, everybody. This will only be a second.
Okay, can you still hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, I'm going to give you the numbers. I have to put my glasses on because I'm old.
You're old. Okay.
And so far, the corona has not gotten me.
Well, don't get the flu. Nobody wants the flu.
Okay, hold on, and I will get you the numbers.
Okay. I'm standing by. So is everybody else. Maintain, everybody. Stay in your seat.
Okay. Right beside the play button, the copy that I have has 113:15:3.
Yeah.
3.
Yeah, that's the one I'm seeing too. That's why I asked about the numbers. Is that the numbers you're talking about? 113? Oh, shit, man, somebody's calling. Hello, Miss Cav? Hang on, everybody. Well, I think my computer just died. That's not cool. That ain't cool. I'll tell you that right now. Anybody else still out there? Anybody? Hang on here. Hello?
Okay.
There you are. Okay.
Button multiple times.
Yeah, you did. Right at the wrong time, too.
Well, I have the record for hitting the wrong button on this phone.
All right.
But sometimes I do it on purpose just to disconnect people.
How sweet. So,
Never
yeah, that is the one that I got right there. It does say 113, 15, 3, 2, 3. Yeah.
Now, unless I am going, it's not military time.
No, it ain't military time.
Not time.
It's not time.
But maybe
it's some kind of
somebody
time.
can tell me what it is.
Hang on here. The other bottom right here is seconds. It's minus 30 seconds. I don't know why it says minus 30, but if I was looking at that, I would say that would be 113 hours, 15 minutes, and 2 to 3 seconds. That's kind of odd. Yeah, it really is.
Well, what would be 113 hours long?
5 days.
Well, no,
Yeah.
I mean, how would you explain that number? What would that measurement be?
Man, I have no idea, but that is a good question, because 113 hours and 15 minutes is just a little snippet out of a larger video, which I'm certain wasn't 113 hours long. Yeah, that's very unusual, to say the least, and I really don't know what to make of that. I mean, if I took a little snippet out of the video, it would say 1 second, 2 seconds, not 113 hours, 15 minutes. You know, that is that's a good question, and I really I'm at a loss, because it's not military time. Now, girl number 2, Abby, her picture was taken at 2:17 p.m. So that right there, it wouldn't be 113, of course, because that's on the south side of the bridge. And her picture was taken back behind him on the north side of the bridge. But I don't have any reason why they would have that with that much time on it. It's yeah, it's unusual. It really is, but I don't know what to make of it. It's like I said, it's not the time of day. It isn't 113, because actually it would just be 1300 hours, 15 minutes. But yeah, I don't know really an answer I have. Unusual, but I don't know why the state police would have a time like that. Man, it would be hard for me to believe that she had 5 days worth of video on her phone, even. What kind of phone did she have again? Do you know?
You know, it seems like it was the same as my old phone, and that's an iPhone 6S.
iPhone 6S.
S is in Sam.
Yeah, that's why I said S.
Okay. I can't hear either. But
yes, it does. Actually, it goes. Hang on a second. I'll show that again, because right down here at the bottom. Hang on. See, when I mouse over that, it goes down. But that 3 starts as a 2. Watch. 2, 3. So this is seconds over here, and then minutes, and then this would be 113 hours. But why in a snippet out of a longer video it would have 113 hours is very different. And I kind of, I got to wonder about that. And that might be something like a question that I would draw to the state police as to why it's like that. Because that doesn't really... It isn't a timestamp of the day. I mean, I've kind of theorized that the time of the actual abduction was probably at about 2:22 p.m. that day. And that is long enough for them to walk down there with the guy back behind him. Now, that's at the quickest available time, whereas it could have happened a couple minutes after that. But then you got to look at the overall time of when he was seen leaving. When we know he was back on the 501 trail. Cheyenne didn't see him at all, and she was on the south side of the bridge at 2:49 and said she didn't see or hear anything. So that's very unusual, but I will put that out to state police. I'll call and ask them about that, because to have that long of a time on there just for a snippet of video doesn't really make sense, but I'm sure that they do have some reason for that. Yeah, and you know what? I'd never noticed that before, but usually when I'm on that page, I just click on the video itself, because all of them are the same video. And I never clicked on that one. Had I would have kind of thought, well, what's with all those numbers? But yeah, I'd never really seen that.
Well, are there any video geeks out there, and that's a very much a complimentary statement, in the audience that might know?
You know what? I happen to know a computer geek, one that is very, hang on a second, somebody's calling. 1 minute. Hello?
Oh, a computer geek.
Hello?
Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
I'm the one with the name Reality Check.
Okay. Hey, could you call me back in a minute? I'm on the phone with somebody.
Sure.
Give me a few minutes, and I'll tell you on the computer to call on in, okay?
No problem.
All right. Peace.
Bye.
Okay, I'm back. Hello?
Okay.
All right. So I know a computer geek that is so geeked, it is insanely geeky. And you know what? He may have a reason for that, or at least a good explanation, but I think that I will contact the state police too and maybe kind of get their take on it. But hey, if there's anybody out there that may know, you know what, man, maybe that was Reality Check calling to say he knew, you know, maybe. But you know what, if anybody out there that may know, kind of throw it up here in the comments, because I would like to see something on here. At Gypsy's comment. Yeah, right, but Sterling, the thing is that the last number goes from 2 to 3. That's seconds. So if we go back over, it'd be 15 minutes, and then to the right of that would be 113 hours. Now, what's odd about that is a standard clock doesn't work to where it keeps track of 113 hours, as it would go by 12s back around. Now it could be, well, see, it still wouldn't be like under 2 hours exactly, because that's running on hour, not minute. I don't know. That's very good, Miss Cav. I mean, that's, you see, go to your.
Well, you know, the only thing I
Okay,
can come up
hang on
with.
1 second. Let me go check that right now and see what that is. And I'm going to favorite this real quick. That way I can get back to it. Reality Check sent me an email. He wanted me to check that. Give me 1 second while I look that up. Da, 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 da. Okay, all right. Slow-mo guy on bridge. Hang on, let me share this out to everyone here. That way they're not wondering what it is I'm looking at here. Couldn't preview file. The problem playing this video download. What do I click on that? Probably get a virus. Okay, I can't open that. Just so you know, Reality Check. There is no, I can't open it right now. You know what? Give it a second. You can call in. Oh, a new sub. Right on, Mercedes. You rock.
Okay, when you get another call, I'll hang up so it's easier for you.
Well, now hang on a second. All right. I'll talk to you in a few. Somebody's calling.
All right.
Hello. Hello.
Hey, Mikey.
Who's this?
Reality Check.
Okay. 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 So, what was it on his mannerisms?
It's called, when you watch this very slow-mo, when I did it in turbo, what's called turtle mode
Yeah.
on the Windows PC option that I got on my high definition HP. You'll be able to watch his gait. You'll be able to watch his mannerism. And if you got a magnifying glass, you'll actually notice that he actually does not have facial hair at all.
Really?
Plus, on top of it, he moves his mouth. There's probably a word being said to it. It's not somebody spitting as everyone thinks it is.
I never thought he was spitting.
Oh, I'm not saying you. I'm just saying to other people
Oh, got you.
that do watch this.
Yeah.
The point is, no one has really decided we're going to slow-mo a very pixelated, zoom-in video that is what I call, it's Libby's phone, but it's somebody else that's recording it. Because once you watch this thing, you're going to be able to see how that black mark comes in and fades out, and it's two videos combined together.
You kind of lost me there.
Okay.
Now I say that
you are able to watch that video, there should be no problem with downloading it at all onto your computer at all,
okay.
or whatever way you view it. There's no virus at all. It's a PDF file that I sent, and this is my command, just so you know.
But the thing is if it's two videos.
What I'm saying is I broke it down to milliseconds to see what they were seeing. And since somebody else in my groups had like 41 pixel play-by-play, I combined all of that together to figure out, okay, how long is this video really? Like, what is the exact number of it?
Right.
So what I'm saying is they put two videos together, and this isn't a raw data video of Libby's actual recording, because you would have been more zoomed out. You would actually see the platform that was on there, and if Abby was on that bridge coming in as he's coming towards there, you would have been able to see that. They basically edit the video out so much to the point where it's so pixelated. I've already had people literally record on an iPhone 6S and shown it to me. Hey, wait a minute, my recording doesn't match this. How did they get it pixelated like this? And then they even done the recording of this theory. Did Libby put her phone in her pocket to hear the guys and down the hill? Well, when they did it, you barely could hear anything on it. It's so muffled. So it's one of those, how did you get a clear voice on one, and the second one so chopped up? But in the last 3 years, they have literally shown clear audio of the word down the hill or get down the hill or whatever the heck that wording is.
Yeah.
Even the John Walsh show, you can clearly hear the audio of guys in between down the hill. So when I'm looking at this out of 3 years is Ellie has put the perfect deception tactic in to mislead the actual killer. And it has worked. It has worked to the point of keeping it to the vest. Because the public is the killer, too.
The public?
Okay. If I'm giving out information to the public, and let's say the killer was not arrested yet, is the killer not part of the public?
Well, yes, but everybody is the public. I mean, if you're looking outside of law enforcement, yes, but
yeah. What I'm saying is they have been misleading this whole thing on purpose because it's a tactic.
Well, I had said that concerning the briefing. Because look, I know that he is in ages 18 to 40. I know he does not live in or around or had worked in Delphi. And I think that that was put out because the FBI had interviewed his friends, family, and neighbors, showed them the video, same way, and asked if they could identify that man as TB. All of them said, to my knowledge, the same thing. I cannot tell whether that's him or not because it is not clear enough to make a determination whether it is him or not. And I think that the briefing itself was misleading because their investigation into him was not over with until they speak to him. But that can't be done till after his current trial is over. But what I'm asking is, how is it 2 videos? There was only one phone.
What I'm saying is, whoever was doing this video, I suspect it's the ICAC, the Internet Crimes Against Children. Whoever was on that task force took one video, did this, then they put the other one together, and then they just moved one video.
Okay, I'm trying to stay with you on this.
So basically, what I'm saying is, okay, they got a whole video. Whatever that video is, they took one section itself, then went onto their computer, put it together. This is what's causing that blackout effect of coming in and out, and then they showed the second part.
Well, hold on. Because I do have the explanation for that black part.
Mm-hmm. I'm saying is when you watch this slow-mo, the way that I put this together and all, you'll clearly understand what I'm trying to say on it.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what I gathered from this. Now, if you go back to Inside Edition, when they was talking to Ronald Logan, right off the bat, they went out to his farm, did that interview with him. Now, their picture on that was the full picture.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it wasn't blacked out to the left of it or anything like that, where it snipped in black and then left. Because I did a frame by frame of it on Cyberlink's Power Director. Mm-hmm. And in most cases, you got to click that like 3 to 4 times before it moves to the next one, because it's in a slower image than what mine was doing. You see where I'm at? So you'd have to click it 4 times for it to go to the next frame. So I took each individual frame, but I just laid them out in photos. I didn't do it and then create a separate video to that. Mm-hmm. But in that picture, because now I go back, and this has been quite a while back, Randy Gravitt made a video speaking about who was wearing the purple skirt. And I'm like, what? Mm-hmm. And, and it had that little slender, purple piece that was to the left. Well,
do you mean to the killer's right? Or
well, in front of the killer on the tracks. It was right there to the far left of the screen. Now, that shows up. All right. But the thing is on the complete wide picture, the original picture of that, it was not there.
Yeah.
And I believe that was a reflective glitch when they had cut that, because it's not in the full picture of it.
Oh, I agree with that, because when I zoomed in and went to pixel blocks, you can actually see the blue with some of the black, which made me think that was...
Now, okay, are you saying that they took the original video and then spliced that back into it to create the longer video?
I'm saying something into that extent is Libby's actual recording, which would have been a very small guy at the far end. I could use Doug Rice's or Bonnie Raime's video as a great example, because they both used a iPhone 6S on their recording. It looks so small, but once you start zooming in and zooming in, you can get to that kind of pixelated face and all, but
Yeah.
the background would not be anywhere close as what we see with that video that we have of the Delphi killer being so beyond pixelated and fuzzy.
Yeah, you can't discern much of anything.
So what I was doing was with people was trying to experiment. I'm like, can we actually try to duplicate what they tried to do with showing to the public of this I call it non-raw video of Libby's phone. And I looked at it, I was like, you can't. You have to manipulate that. You have to be a very smart computer person to start playing with these things to make it so distinctly not clear. Now, I have a possibility of why they did this, and it kind of makes sense.
I'd like to hear it.
Why show this person's face and all at the beginning of investigation, even by still pics, when it would be like, oh, wait a minute, I know who that is. Wait a minute, that's on here. And then he sees it, and all of a sudden, okay, wait a minute, I'm nailed. You now made the person want to run. Instead, he's been isolated and stayed put and did whatever he did after the crimes.
Well,
He had nothing. Basically, the guy on the bridge had nothing to worry about at all because he looked at it was like, well,
he couldn't tell
on my face. You got two dumb pictures of right now of sketch. Nope, that's not me. I don't have to worry about nothing.
Well,
I don't have to worry about nothing.
I'm with you to that, except, I mean, I would say, why would they release it at all if they was wanting it hidden? Why didn't they use that for their own good rather than releasing that to the public, period?
The only answer that, like I said, is it's all part of law enforcement's, I'm going to give you white lies.
Are you saying that law enforcement had a hand in this?
I want you to think. Kind of like this whole virus thing that you've been saying. It's all mind manipulation.
But why?
For me, I don't have a real reason of why they would do it, but this isn't really nothing new when it comes to any other crimes. Like, you see this constantly on other crimes where here's a video and you're looking at it like, there's no way in hell you could tell who that person is. Why are you asking the public that?
Well, you know what? Now, this is me, and this is speculation. I'm throwing it out there as such. When they released the photos, and I could understand completely, because I knew that they took that from video. And we asked Sheriff Lesenby, and that was probably around July, maybe June of 2017. Because they had that pictures out for quite a while, and I think that they was on the fact that the guys from around Delphi, all right. Because I don't feel. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was saying no because I didn't want this commercial thing.
Oh,
I'm just going to download the video on my channel.
Okay.
Hopefully this comes up. Let's see here.
Do you want to mention your channel?
Yes, it's Reality Check.
On YouTube?
On YouTube.
And any keywords somebody could use to find it?
All you do is just Reality Check, look for the skeleton face, and that's me.
All right. Let's see. Now, when we asked him about that, because they had
how to answer these stupid questions. Okay. No, I don't want to add no card.
Okay. All right. Hey, hang tight there a second if you don't mind.
Right.
So we asked him about why that they released the pictures without the audio. I mean, excuse me, the pictures without the video. Because we said, well, you could just take that snippet of him taking a step and a half, take the audio out of it, and then show people a clearer image rather than having the pixelated images. He's like, well, we're comfortable with what we got right now, but if it doesn't produce results in so long, we may do that. Now, they waited 2 years and 2 months and then did that. But the thing is, it was when you look at the video is as pixelated as the pictures. Now, if I was out there with the same phone that she had at the same distance, I'll guarantee you that that video image would be a lot clearer than what we are looking at in that video that they're showing us. Now,
I had a question for you because I think you were out there when Greeno did his reenactment with Mark Cummins.
I was not there.
What type of device was he using?
I don't know. I wasn't there.
Oh, I thought you were.
No, everybody thinks I was. And I tell them that was his, not me. Now, I have nothing against him doing it. But the thing is, I mean, like, you know, it's just like if it was something that I did, he'd say I wasn't there, man. So, I mean, that's his. That's all his.
Sadly,
not me. Remember, not me.
Discredit it.
Do what?
Holman did, in fact, discredit any YouTube reenactments.
Well, this is why I don't do reenactments, because we wasn't there.
Yeah, exactly. You can get scientific proof to do these things unless you were really there.
So, yeah, when he went and did that, and he asked me if I wanted, I'm like, no, I'm not doing any reenactment, because actually at that time, there was X amount that we knew. And a lot of stuff that we didn't know, I know more now. I mean, because, man, that's going back over 2 years ago, or at 2 years ago, maybe a little bit longer than that. But a lot more has been revealed since then. But as far as what took place, we don't know that. It's never been given by law enforcement, rightfully. They're not going to hand out what it is that they know, what was on the video, what was on the full audio, and that's good. And it's not like I'm sitting here trying to guess what happened, because what took place there doesn't lead me to whom that person is. You know, the MO of it would, once that's released, but we're going to have to wait till that goes to court to find that out. So
we definitely don't know when guys and down the hill actually occurred either.
No, we don't. And I've said, because there are 2 hills that they would have had to go down. The first one being right to the left of the tracks on that first hill down, and then the second hill after the private drive going down. So there are 2 places where that could have been set at.
When you're not busy, you can easily put my link in for my channel, because I can't do that because I'm not a mod.
Hang on a second. Let me go find it real quick. In the meantime, keep talking.
Yeah, no problem.
Talk. Why are you not talking, sir?
Oh, no. I was trying to read a different texture thing.
Yeah, don't do that while talking.
I didn't want to have it out loud. That's why I was going from there. Let's see here. I think I will also send you my, I call it the combined look that
Through the Skull?
I'm talking about.
Is it called Reality Check Through the Skull?
No, it's just Reality Check, and it's just got the skull design on it.
Okay, I'm looking for your channel, but there's a Reality Check where it's got the uppercase and lowercase spelling.
Yes, uppercase Reality with the R and uppercase C with the check.
No. This is all capitalized except for a couple. Is there a keyword to use? Is there a keyword to use?
Do a temp mod on me and I can press the link. Let's see here.
I'm trying to find your channel, guy. But yeah, it's not pulling up. It's pulling up everybody but you.
That's awesome.
I know, but I need a keyword to put next to Reality Check. Like, do you have a title of a video you could give me? Something like that.
Yeah.
There you go.
Delphi Motion Fix 1 Slow-Mo.
Delphi
Motion Fix 1 Slow-Mo.
Slow-mo. All right, let's see here. Delphi Slow-mo. That's Flying Frank. No reality check.
I have the link right now of copy.
Okay, put it on my channel.
I can't unless I'm a mod.
Email it to me.
Okay. Give me a second.
Make sure it's to your channel.
I will.
Okay, but you know we're
Fortunately, they don't. Someone said try Delphi reality check, and that was Who's Your Mama.
yes, but you're pulling that up now and emailing it to me, right?
Oh, I'm doing that too.
Okay.
I'm also reading what Who's Your Mama said.
Right. But in the meantime, if you could get that to me, I can get it up very quickly.
I'm doing that at the same time.
Okay. All right. So, in that meantime, here, let me see. Let me check comments. See, I'm losing people because we're sitting here waiting, sir.
Message is sent. There's no title to it.
Have him explain how colors can refract in a video. Lavender skirt. Yeah, that's, you know what? That's what I was bringing up about that other guy whose name I need not mention on my channel. You know what? Because he wrote a book and he's sitting there, oh, thanks for helping. I'm going to mention you in the book. Thankfully, he did not mention me in his book because like all 5 people that bought it said it was wrote by a kindergartner that did not know penis about this crime.
Since there's 2 Michaels, I don't know who Carla was trying to ask on this question.
Did you send me the link?
Yeah, I sent you the link on the video, yes.
Okay. Wait a minute. I still haven't got it.
Boy, are they very slow today.
Did you send it to Mr. Cat 420?
Yes.
Okay.
And there's no subject.
All right. Hang on.
Now, I'm going to give my take on Carla Hoozie's question. For me, I've always thought there was maybe more than one person involved.
Yeah, I kind of felt that you did.
Well,
call it a hunch.
Trail Kim said she found it.
And anything you want me to add to this? Like this is so-and-so's channel?
No, not really.
Okay.
I'm going with more of anything that is in life that needs to put what we call a reality check truth with it, instead of what we call fake news or fake whatever.
Yeah, believe me, that goes deep and wide.
I don't care. I'm already controversial and considered the #1 troll on YouTube and Facebook. So
#1 for me. Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Do you have anything else?
No, that's it. I'd rather get off right now. I got to make some dinner and all, so I'll call back later.
All right,
if you're still on.
Yeah, maybe, probably until about 8, I suspect.
Okay. Have fun.
All right, thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right, so that was Reality Check. Go to YouTube, put in Reality Check, Delphi, something slow-mo, and you should be able to pull that up. Who said they found it? You said somebody found it. Let me scroll back up here. How was the Crown Prince, Mike? I'm doing quite well, very quite well. Except I'm not the crown prince. The crown prince is Wolf. He's my only son. That's why he has that going on. You know, I work hard so that my dog can be the crown prince. You know, I mean, there you go. Let me find out who had said that. That way you can find his channel. But anyway, he was discussing the fact that he yes, thank you very much, Black Rock. Right, exactly. He is resting currently, and he is having a very good week. We have been out squirrel hunting, and well, I don't take him out to watch the geese because they do not like dogs. They don't know what's a fox and what ain't. Yeah, so they get a little upset about it. Anyways, he was talking about breaking that down frame by frame. I think I understand what he was saying by 2 videos where they had spliced those together. But I do know that the original, now I'm talking about in the photos, okay, it had that little snippet of purple right there that was to the left. Now, Randy Gravitt said, like, who's wearing the purple skirt? And I'm like, wait, what? Huh? You know, and I went and looked at that, and I'm like, because you could pull up the entire picture, the whole of that picture before it was cut down, and there wasn't anything there. Now, I do feel, and I do honestly feel, that something was cut out of the video. And the reason for that is because that left-hand side comes in a piece black, then gets to a larger piece, and then cuts back, and it's all in just a quick like that. Now, something was cut out of that. Now, I noticed that, and in connection too with the purple that was there, because something was snipped out of that. But yeah, it wasn't a purple skirt. You're right, Sasha. And that is why I was looking at that, because it didn't make any sense to me that somebody was standing there with the purple skirt. However, and allow me to explain this. I'm going back like a long time ago, like not long after the crime itself. A guy got a hold of me on email, and he's like, hey, look, man, I got to email you this. I have some information. So when I got on the email and was on there with him, he says, it's more than one person. Okay, how do you know that? He's like, well, and God, man, did I call? No, I didn't. It was in email. He said, the killer is wearing a 1972 Elvis World Tour shirt. He goes, I know that because I had one that was identical to it. And he goes, the reason she had her phone out is because there was another person with him that was an Elvis impersonator. That's why she got her phone out, because the guy was singing. And after I read that, man, me and Greeno was just laughing our ass off at that. We could not believe that the guy was even like real and telling us such crap. So I wrote him back, and I'm like, yeah, here's the thing. Like, everything you said is complete BS. I mean, like, why are you wasting my time, this and that? He's like, I see, I get it, right. Well, if it ain't your theory, right? Like, man, where did the mind of humanity, us, the great technological beings, the people that think they're so great and superior, those who think they're free and just enslaved to the bottom, people, there are nuts out there. There are people out there that are nuts that don't know they're nuts. There are people that are completely insane that think everybody else is nutty. Those people are everybody, man. Well, not you guys. You know what I mean, man. Those people just walk around. Hey, look who showed up. It's somebody's sister. How you doing? See, would be good reason why the 2 sketch. Yeah, right, Carla. I mean, and that's what a lot of people hop on to. Well, there was 2 people, or the first guy was wearing a mask. Those people are real too. They believe it. They do. They hop on it. It was more than one person, and that's because of how messy the crime scene was. Oh, excuse me. Did you go witness the crime scene while everybody else went? Did you? Well, I heard that. Exactly. You know what? And I heard stuff too. and it's called rumor, and it's called BS, because people say things like, I heard from law enforcement and the family that, and I'm like, yeah, that's what you call rumor, BS, just totally believing up and hyping your side. Look, man, I say this for me, this much. I use the facts. If it was not stated by law enforcement or somebody that was there or somebody that gave information toward that is publicly available, the rest is all BS. And you know what? If I was editing this, there'd be a big pile of it right back there on the green screen. Yes, I did, in fact. I have a friend. Now, he took college way back in the day, way back now. And he took computers, and that was his job. He was a supervisor over techs at HP and another place down in Indianapolis. His entire life. For 20 years that I knew him, I only one time seen him away from his computer, and that's because he was cooking on the grill. That was it. The guy lived at his PC. That's what he did. Code, man. I mean, on my old website, I needed an auction. And he was telling me, well, you can buy this one. And he was looking them over. When he was looking at the code, he found 6 bugs in this auction. Sent that into him, just being polite. I found 6 different bugs that are in your code. They sent him 5 copies to use free for life. So he used one on my website. The guy is very brilliant at computers. And that's somebody that I could ask about that, because he would have a good answer. Whether it was that many hours of, because I would ask, well, why for a second and a half of video would they have that much time on it? And he's somebody that could give me a very reasonable explanation. And I may inquire to him about that this week, because that is something now that's going to bother me until I get an answer to it. And once I get his answer, I will contact state police and then ask them why, just to kind of verify, his explanation, because he does know things like that. Like if I took a second and a half of video, why would I have 113 hours? You see? Something to think about. But the numbers, the 113 hours, 15 minutes, and 2 to 3 seconds is not a timestamp of the crime. It can't be, because they wouldn't take a snippet out of a video and then give you the time. You see where I'm at? But it is some kind of a time. And it is, yeah, exactly. Thank you, Sasha, because it is. It's time to kind of dig into that. And remember, man, every rabbit hole leads to somewhere, be it a rabbit and or Wonderland. But every rabbit hole has an answer at the bottom. Never forget that. And that's why sometimes, even if it looks like a rabbit hole, I'm going to check into it. Oh, Anon, man, you are late, man. You did arrive late. I hope you wasn't waiting for a notification. Never wait for a notification, people. YouTube does not hand out notifications for my channel, period. They don't. Believe me. Oh, and Alaska Blue, when you put that up, make sure that you put for those who can, because some people can't, and this is not a pay-for channel. I do not, I do not ask people for money to view the information. Others do. Others say, but if you want to know the real truth, you can join my website where you pay $25 a month, and I'm like, see that right there, man. You're just on here selling the information, sometimes not even information elsewhere. I hate those channels. I do not buy into that crap. But for those who can, and that is not everybody, and I completely understand that, you can donate to my channel through the link that Alaska Blue put up there. And thank you very much for that, Alaska. That's just one reason why she rocks as a mod, but there are many others. It is all optional, exactly. But I want them to know that it is optional. Grace Slick, really, very cool. I remember her. Jay Keller, man, look at it, man. All the cool people showed up. Man, you know what? If this was the 1980s, man, we would have a keg of beer, man. We'd be kicking it at the fire, y'all. But it ain't, So we got to stick to the subject at hand. Your stimulus check, you know what? They're supposed to arrive this week. That's what I last heard, because the flu's out there, and a couple people died of this coronavirus, no different than the flu. And so they shut down the entire global economy for the flu. And now they're going to come at you with a needle to forcefully give it to you so that they can make your kids autistic, and you go, I'm really happy. When the truth be known, you should be very pissed off about this shit. That's me, though. That's just me talking. That's my opinion. Furthermore, it's the true king of Uganda's opinion. Need I say more? In the mail? Oh, in the mail? Yeah. The mail was supposed to come out later, but for direct deposit people, it's supposed to be here this week. From Wednesday probably to Friday is the larger part of them. Some people have got theirs already. If it said the 29th, it came out on the 28th. If it says the 29th or 20 or 30th, it might be here on the 29th tomorrow. But that's how the IRS works. They don't just set a date and go, everybody gets theirs. They got to spread it out, man. That way everybody don't go buy everything off the shelf so that there ain't toilet paper for 5 years. But that aside, let's stay to the subject at hand. Ms. Cav, if you're out there, give me that call. Give me the old ring-a-ding. Yeah. Social distancing with money, you know. Yeah, that's why I put in that one, man, where the cops got the gun. Social distancing now. Comply or die. Invest in paper products. I invested in toilet paper. I have 7+ years of toilet paper. I did that before there was a coronavirus. I want that to be known. I didn't go get it after the fact. I already had bought it. Just because, man, it only cost X amount for a 6-pack of toilet paper. So I went and stocked up plenty. Because one thing you don't want to be is sitting on the toilet in need of shit tickets. You don't get that ride. You know what? Yeah, you know, that is a good point right there. And thank you for bringing that to my attention. Because you do work in healthcare, do you not, Alaska? Who, me? Yeah. Well, hang on. This could be Miss Cav. Hello.
Hello, Michael.
It is Miss Cav. How you doing out there?
I am doing fine. I heard Miss Cav give me a call, but I didn't hear
Right on.
exactly what you wanted.
What's that? Oh, one more time. Sorry.
I just didn't hear exactly if you needed more information or you just wanted to chat.
Oh, I thought that when you was leaving, because I had that call come in and everything, I thought that you was going to finish up on what on something that you were saying. No?
Something I had. Well, we don't have a good connection today.
Do you want me to call you?
Yeah, why don't you try me back and see if flipping phone will work better.
Okay.
I'm
Call you
trying
right
to
back.
wait till Apple opens its stores and go in and throw it at somebody.
Okay, I'll call you right back, Ray.
All right.
Man, I should just get this on speed dial.
Okay, I am back. Is
Hey.
that better?
You sound good. Yes, you do. Fantastic.
Okay, I can hear you a little bit better. Well, you know, I was trying to go back to that video and figure out what those numbers are. And the only thing that I can think is that it might be a video file on a computer at the ISP headquarters, and that may be the total amount of video, and I mean total amount of video that they have, and that may include videos from security cameras, videos from, you know, wherever they pull videos from. And that might be a marker for where the bridge guy video is, where they put it. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. That probably is the best answer that we've come to yet, because there's a lot of stuff that they have, of course. And Sheriff Lusby said that they did have like security cameras and this and that, and that they was looking through all that. And of course, he didn't say, well, you know, but you know, like in as far as the suspect goes, but he said that they were looking through all of that. But I guess my only question to that would be that if they had that much video, and actually more than that video, if they was to take a 1.5-second snippet out of it, why would it show the total time of all the video when it's in just a snippet? You see where I'm at?
Well, it might not show the total time. What that number might be, let's just say for conversation purposes.
Let me get that on a screenshot. Go ahead. Keep going.
Let me just say for conversation purposes and to make the number easy, that they have 1,000 hours of video.
Okay.
And that video is in 2 or 3 places. One, the investigators would have to have access to it as they're trying to make sense of this murder and investigate. And then they would have a master file, and then they would have all of the segments that they collected individually or that they've manufactured on in separate files on a computer, in a big master computer file. In other words, they're keeping an original, and then they're keeping a manipulated, and then they're keeping a working file for investigators.
Okay, right.
And the total number of hours that they have is 1,000. But the video that they've released to the public is at 113.15.02 and 3. And so they can always go back to that, either in their master file or in the individual files, to see what they've done. What has me curious, though, if in fact that's what it is, it's kind of sloppy work leaving that kind of information on the video itself. It should have been removed.
Yeah, I get right. I got you there. Hang on 1 second. I got the somewhere. Oh, I thought I did. Should be right here. Thought I saved that there. Oh yeah, here it is. Now this is the picture of it, and then that way it doesn't have to be just on the video. Let me share that out here. And get rid of the email, but that is my email if anybody wanted my email. Where in the hell? Okay, let me hide that and make this bigger. And back over to here. And this is the photo right here. Now, in this photo, oh man, I need to blow that up some. And pull that down to the bottom. What the hell? Like, is it gone? Oh, there it is. That's the number we're talking about. 113, 15, and that goes from 2 to 3 while he's walking. And this is the number that we're talking about as being a timestamp. We have no reason why that is 113 hours, 15 minutes, and then 2 to 3 seconds for just a second and a half video. Go ahead.
The only thing that I can imagine, you know, after thinking about it, that number is a marker for their evidence or for their reference.
Well, okay. But again, like, let's say I was like doing this and I had this video file, and what I did, because it's only a second and a half that they're showing, well, they took that second and a half of him walking that step and a half like that. If I took that out of a larger file and I cut that snippet out of it, and then I put that in it, because it does change from 2 to 3 on the video, why wouldn't the time on it be starting at 0, then going to 2, rather than the big file? Why? I mean, it looks like the time, but again, it's showing like 113 hour. And I mean, like, that's the weird part to it. You see where I'm at? I mean, I get what you're saying, but it just seems odd that they would use it like that rather than taking that snippet of a second and a half, 2 seconds. And then marking that as like,
once they start a program, it takes a second to kick in.
Maybe.
So there's a space of a second left between where their videos actually, where they click on it and when their video starts. Or they've edited that first second out.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. Because there has to be a reason for like 113 hours. That is kind of crazy. In fact, it's a little odd that they would upload it with that time on it. And oddly enough, I never came across that video right there. I mean, I always click on the top one. So peculiar.
Well, that was brought to my attention and a lot of conversation about it from I don't have permission to use her name or her alias, but it came from a person that I admire and respect when she comes up with these things. And it made me even look further into it, and then ask the question to the audience today if they had any reasonable explanation what that number was. Because certainly, I mean, it could be just a mistake from a computer programmer or a computer analyst that did the video and shouldn't have left that on there.
Yeah.
But it was released to the public, and those are the things. Maybe they have different versions of the video, and this is the only version that was acceptable to all the people who review public information to release. And maybe there are other versions of the video on their master evidence.
Other versions of the video. Okay. Yeah. All right, I'm with you on that. Do you think that maybe they was trying to maybe clear up the video?
Well, my guess is when I've had video edited in the past, that it's a pretty precise procedure to edit in and out. And if you even leave a tenth of a second much of anything, it raises more questions than it answers. And I think their evidence has raised a lot of questions, but I don't think it makes a terrible amount of sense, you know, why they've released what they did and why they're keeping perhaps other video, other audio, such a secret. You know, I don't know what their criteria is. I wished I knew what they were looking for besides the identity of Bridge Guy.
Now,
I just think that there's much more to this in the way they've released public information than what we're thinking about right now.
yeah, I agree with you. And again, look, at any time through that first 2 years and 2 months, they could have released that video. Now, we brought that to Sheriff Lesby's attention that they should release that minus the audio. And he said, we may do that if this right here would be in the pictures don't pan out in so long a time. And then they did. Now, to me, and the reason for my upsetness at the briefing was I already had my thoughts on who had did it. Now, I know at that time, between the time of that man's arrest and the time of the briefing, they knew they couldn't go down and talk to that man. But I felt positive, and I still do, that they know who did it. So I'm thinking that when talking to the people that knew that man, that they knew that they could not tell who it was in that video. And I think that that was a reason why they released it. Now, in doing that, because with the cell phone, you don't get a pixelated image. It just don't work like that. If I went outside with the cell phone exactly like she had, and I took video of somebody walking at the same distance as he was from her, it would not be that pixelated. But they had already put out the pictures, which were pixelated, because it was blown up into whatever pixelated it like that. But they wanted to make sure that when they released that video, that it was going to look no different at all. The man, no different at all than what it did on the photos. And I think it could have been purposely pixelated to like the video. That way, they're doing their job. That way, they're releasing the video. That way, they're being respectful. They're law enforcement. They got to hold that high power. And okay, I'm not going to ramble on that. But you see my point. I think that they may have purposely then pixelated that video to look just like the photos. That way, it was still indistinguishable from the man to the video. That way, when they finally released it, everybody's like, oh, they're releasing the video. Oh, wow, it didn't do anything. You see where I'm at? Because they knew who did it at that time, and I stand on that. They knew. Excuse me. They didn't know, but they certainly had the same assumptions and presumptions and everything that I do now, given the evidence that I've looked at. So I think that that's something that they could have done. I mean, but that's me. That's just me talking on that. Because again, when this does come out, and they're not going to answer on that. They're not going to come out and go, well, we had an idea who it was, but we couldn't go down and talk to him. Because if we was really looking at the master video file taken from Libby's phone, it's not going to be that pixelated. There's no way it could be. Now, it would be if they blew it up. Okay, if they blew it up and they was like forever away. But you can tell that they're to the right of the man. I think that they're on that last platform to his left side, which is probably sits at about 40 to 45 feet to his front left. And that last step he takes, he puts his right foot over his left because he's fixing to turn toward them. He's walking and is turning toward them at that time. And that's where the video ends, when he's starting to head toward them. See where I'm at?
Well, I happen to agree that I think that video, first of all, I think it's pieced together and not one single solitary piece of video that it came from.
Okay, wait.
And
Wait.
I think, go ahead.
Okay, if they pieced it together, now here's the thing, because I can go right out there and I can show you exactly every single tie that his feet are hitting. I know exactly where that is because you can tell with the trees where that platform is, where his feet are hitting. If they used more than one video or snipped the video together, then his feet would not be hitting those exact ties. You see where I'm at?
I do.
And I'm just saying that if they used one video but then cut pieces out, well, then it would go from here where he's stepping up to here where he's stepping, but they're hitting those exact ties.
Well, either way, it would be a segmented video that they released.
Now, I will say that there was something that was cut out, and I don't know why it was cut out. Now, that could have been, and I'm just throwing out thoughts, nothing that I have that I can stand on this, but I could use like the JFK, I mean, you know, with the Zapruder film, where you could see that that was doctored. Well, they cut that out because, you know what, girl number 2 may have been standing there where it caught a piece of her arm. They didn't want any picture of them in it, and they may have cut that little where it blacked into it. I could go pull that up where it's like a frame by frame, because you can clearly see the frames where it goes in a little bit black and then it goes in more, like a piece of her was there. And then, you know, maybe where she stepped up and walked back, then they clicked that because it was just that quick like that something was in the frame. And which is fine because we don't need to see that one of the girls was there. We know the girl that did take the video on her cell phone. So, you know, now that I believe that they may have done, but I don't know that they changed the video any aside of that. I think that they may have pixelated it to look like the images, but at the same time, I mean, you see where I'm going, right?
Well, and I'm trying to understand what their motives were. And this is where you and I may disagree on a couple of things. In order for them to pixelate that video, let me preface something first.
Okay.
Before I had this piece of crap iPhone 11, whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's, you know, it's a fancy phone. It's got fancy lenses on it and all that. I had an iPhone 6S that lasted me for 4.5 years.
Nice.
And that's a lot for an iPhone because people are so determined to have the latest device, no matter how expensive it is.
Right.
But I kept my 6S for 4.5 years.
Yeah, that's very well done, and for a phone.
That's a long time for a phone. If I remember right, that phone took damn good videos and even better pictures. I don't believe that I ever had a video that was as pixelated from the original video as this one is.
Right, right.
Having said that,
Okay.
I was going to ask you in earlier adventures out at the bridge, and as many times as you've walked it, did you ever estimate how far the girls in all probability were from the bridge guy when that video was taken?
Yes, approximately 45 feet.
I've heard closer.
Did you hear me?
Closer.
It's only when I talk. Have you noticed that?
Okay, I apologize.
It's when I talk.
In my vehicle.
And here's the thing. I want people to understand. It's like, okay, if somebody calls me, when they're talking, it don't allow them to hear me. So anyway, it's just like when somebody's explaining something and I go, well, hang on, wait a minute. They don't, people, they can't hear that. Now,
And
back to what you were saying.
On an iPhone.
Now back to what you were saying about me being out there. I think that, like, if they was on that last platform, which it looks like they were, because of where he's walking, they are to his left-hand side. Now, the only place to be that far to the left would be to be on that platform, because if you're not on that platform, you'd be like over the side looking at 70 feet down to the ground. So I think that they were on that final platform on the left-hand side going south, and that would put them at approximately 40 to 45 feet to his front left.
So it's closer than the 60 feet that I've heard.
Well, and again, I didn't go out and take a measurement, but I'm thinking about it. That is probably at about 40 to 45 feet. It could be a little bit longer than that, but it's a rough estimate.
Well, I think the video should have been clearer.
Oh, I do too. In fact, I said if I had the same exact phone as she did, I could stand on that platform and videotape somebody walking in the exact spot as him. I could back up and I could go clear to the end of the bridge. Okay, clear back until, like, you was no longer on that bridge. And when I got on here, if I showed you that video, it would be substantially clearer than the video that they're showing us. But you can tell they're not like way far away, or it wouldn't show like they're just to his immediate left. It would look like they was very far and away, almost like a straight on shot rather than being over here filming from the left-hand side. That's why I kind of assumed that they was on that last platform that's on the left. Right. Or, I mean, they could be on the tracks. They would still be to his left a little bit, but it wouldn't show that they was complete to his left like it does in the video. See where I'm at?
Yeah, I do.
So,
but
I'm guessing that they was on that last platform, which I'll say like so. It was somewhere around 45 to 55 feet to his front left. My thoughts there, because the information I just gave. Go ahead.
Well,
I should say over.
Maybe what they're running by and using is old investigative recommendations from prior to the arrival of technology, and smart people knowing for darn sure that the video could have been clearer. And then for them to say that NASA and
Pixar,
and
Disney,
people that are specialists have tried to clear that video up.
No. Hold on. They never said that about the video. That was about the photos.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because Anna was on, I think it was Dr. Phil. And she said, well, we asked the FBI and they said, look, we've reached NASA, Pixar, Disney. Nobody can do anything with it. So those photos, and this are her words, she was only saying photo when we knew that it came from video. But those photos can't be made any clearer. Well, why would the FBI reach Disney, NASA, Pixar, and everybody else about the photos when they're sitting there with clear video? You see where I'm at? That made no sense to me at all why she would have said that. It sounded like it was something that she went on there to say for them. But I can't get a reason why she would have went on there and said anything concerning the photos when she herself knows that it was taken from video. Hey, is that Jimmy? Where's Jimmy? Where's Jimmy at? Ah, well, Jimmy's got to be here. Oh, there he is. He's Baxter, the Jack Russell there. Bam. All right. Thanks for being here, Jimmy. Go ahead, Miss Katt.
Well, I'm just thinking that a lot of the confusion
What's up, Sean?
that has come up over, everything they said, the information they released, and I guess the whole tone of the investigation, I believe that it very well could be running on old rules that were set into stone maybe when Doug Carter and Kim Riley and the powers that be were in training, and they just don't know how to come into the world of the internet, intelligent people who ask smart questions, and they're just used to being kind of kowtowed to.
Yeah.
And whatever they release is, oh, that's great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're the best,
and
man.
Now it's people verify.
Right.
And they go into it a lot deeper. And I think as a whole, people are smarter because of the internet and because of what we know. Because I'm 65.
65. And see, you call yourself old.
Whoa. I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
I said you're 65 and you're saying you're old. I must disagree. I don't think a person's old until they're like old and they say, man, dude, I'm old.
Well,
now my grandpa, he was old, okay? He was in his 90s, but he still got around okay. Great guy, my grandpa.
I am definitely a bionic 65. I've had some parts replaced, but I still keep moving, and that's what's important. But one of the things is I don't think, and this would answer a lot of the questions about why they've done what they've done, that perhaps the Indiana State Police have even come into the 20th century after Y2K. They're still running by the old protocols.
Well, you bring up that, yeah, but I don't know. The FBI's in this, and that was the lowdown, and that was kind of my I don't want to say disagreement. I ain't trying to make it sound like that, but when you got a family member talking about photos when it was already released that it came from video, and then saying that the FBI said we took the photos to Disney, NASA, Pixar, so on and so on. And then I start questioning, like, why would she be on there and say that about the FBI unless the FBI told her to say that? Making it sound like they only had photos. Well, we knew better. And then they did come out with the video. You see where I'm at? Because, like, when you go quiet, I don't know if we lost connection or not.
No, I'm usually when I'm quiet, I'm trying to think.
Oh.
But this might be the ISP's in Carroll County's first truly high-tech murder case where they do have video, they do have audio, and they have been just so picky, and it's gone way beyond protecting the investigation. But they haven't wanted to share any more or an adequate amount to begin with because of their old school ways and techniques that, they're at a standpoint where they're confused about how to proceed. Do we release more videos? Will that cause more questions, more criticisms, more whatever of our investigation? Or should we take the chance that people are smart enough to know if we don't put out, or if we do put out an original, non-doctored video of a duration of, say, even 10 seconds. Could that help the case, or are we facing more of what we've had over the past year and a half, 2 years?
I kind of look at it like so. They had the original video, which I believe was a lot clearer than the video they gave us. They had the audio. They had quite a bit on that video record that she put her phone on. Now, when they came to the conclusion, and they came up with that before they announced it publicly, that yes, this man right here that we're seeing is the suspect that did this. We know that. Now, had they released the original video of him taking that step and a half in its clear form, they probably would have had that guy long ago. And I think by running with the pictures, thinking that it may be somebody around Delphi and working it like that for so long, it really set them back, because had they released the video, the clear video up front, I think that they would have had that guy right away. I say within a month or two. And I think by waiting that long and hoping that somebody would come forward, as they kept saying, even at the first year press conference, somebody out there knows who this is. It may be your brother, it may be your uncle, it may be that creepy guy. We don't know who, but we need you to call us. They really believed that that guy was from in or around Delphi. Now, had they released that video up front, rather than keeping it back as photo and trying to make it sound like they only had pixelated photos, that's what set them back. And after they found out who it was, that's when they had to fix their time. That's when they had to make it look like, look, we didn't screw up here, man. Look, the video's the same as the pictures. Well, I call BS on that. Now, we're never going to get that straight video. We never will. It has now, they have the video, but they doctored it to be pixelated in the same way the images was. Now, that's what bothers me. But the thing is now that's over. Okay. They can't go back and fix that and then release it up front. So now they got to work with that. But they've already showed everybody that, and they're all like, oh, we can't tell who it is. Great. The pixelations work, you know, and now we can just release that just like we had the pictures, and nobody will ever see a difference. And you know what? That's how we'll run with it. That's what they're running with. But I do believe that the original video that was taken was quite a bit clearer. It would have to be. Like I said, man, I could go outside and film somebody from 100 feet away. And you know what? You're still going to be able to see who that is. I could stand on my front porch and videotape somebody that's down there in the horse field. And you know what? When I'm looking at that, I can tell you who it is. And the same way that if somebody was looking at the original video content taken from the phone, if they was looking at it, they could say, oh, I know that dude. I know exactly who that is. So again, I think that they was trying to fix up a kind of a mistake, because they was misled into believing that somebody would know who it was by the pixelated images. They were pixelated because it was blown up and they took images of the video. So when that failed,
I'll get back with you in about 5 minutes.
Yeah, but I'm going to be off of here at about 8 o'clock.
Okay, what time is it now?
It's 7 minutes till. I'll wait till you call back.
Oh, well, that's all right. I can say goodbye now.
Well, if you was going to call back with something, you can call back. It gives somebody else a chance to call in too.
Let me just get my babies out here to go potty.
All right, I'll talk to you in a few.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, if anybody else wanted to call in, that number is as follows. And you know what? I should have had the ticker on. I'm sorry, everybody. There's the ticker, and that's the number. If you'd like to call now. You know who's dying to hear from you? The true king of Uganda. Thank you. Thank you all very much. So that takes us back to the image. Let me share that again for you all. And what the hell? Just work with me, computer, not against me. Not against me. And let me dismiss that number real quick. Damn it. And I'll leave that one going. Now, let me blow this up. This is what we're talking about right here. This video image, and I'm going to blow that up so you can see the numbers at the bottom. This is what she called in about, was this stamp right here. Now, when you read that, and I ain't got it on play, this is just a photo so I could screenshot it. But it says right here, this is 113 hours, 15 minutes. Now, when you click play and he's walking, it goes from 2 to 3. This right here being seconds. So we're questioning why there's 113 hours, 15 minutes, and then it goes to seconds. That's kind of the subject here, because I do not have an explanation for that. Unless it was that much video. But then again, when you take a snippet out of a video, if I went to my editor and I had a 2-hour video and I cut out a 20-second piece of that video and got it down to that, rendered it and put that on play, same as they did with this, I do believe, that's going to show 20 seconds. It's not going to show the whole amount of that time and, you know, down to 20 seconds. It's just going to show that 20 seconds. Same with that right there. Should be 1 or like 2 seconds long, and it should go 1, 2, 1, 2, not 1,300 hours, 15 minutes, and then so many seconds. But that is a good question, and I do want to get to the bottom of it. I am going to touch base with my friend HR, who's that actually stands for Harsh Reality. He was a hacker, probably one of the best in Indiana, honestly, truth be known. But he may have an answer for that, and I will back that up by actually calling Indiana State Police and inquiring to them and see how that works, because that's a good question. I really have no answer for why it would be that way. Oh, Alaska, please. Look, I'm blushing. Well, you know what, Sasha, I do want to point this out, that when they say that it was pinging all over the place, firstly, the battery was dead. You got to understand that. She had that on video record. That video is not going to be there. They could ping the phone, but what that is that is triangulating between cell towers. When they say all over, they don't mean that the person was driving around Delphi at that time with the girls and the cell phone or anything like that. Believe me. They were saying that it was pinging around Delphi. Around Delphi. And that is where it was around Delphi. But when they pinpoint where you are, they don't say you're at this exact GPS coordinates. But the phone itself, when they was trying to find it, was pinging around Delphi. Not that the guy was driving around Delphi at that time and it was over by McDonald's, then it was over by this park, then it was down by Deer Creek, and, you know, like that. Because the phone never left the trail. The phone was found right there by the girls. And that is where it was overnight. So I don't want people to think that, because that is an old rumor, a very old rumor. Because when he said it was pinging around Delphi, he didn't mean that the person had that phone and was out driving around. So I just want to stay clear of anything rumor. Off the mic, Elvis Loser. Oh, Elvis Lover. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Jimmy. Hello?
Okay.
Smith's Katt. All right.
Do you think law enforcement has learned anything about public information altering pictures, videos, audio, whatever, so far in this investigation? And do you think that maybe they're one of the reasons, not the reason, but one of the reasons they are not releasing anything else is because they don't want to be embarrassed anymore. And they just want to let it sit for a while.
That I can't tell you. I really can't. I think that it more comes down to me that they should have released the clear video up front when they knew he was a suspect. When they came out with it, hang on one second. Sorry, I will get back to that, Sasha. There is no way to copy and paste those, and no imminent danger. I will get back to that in just a minute. But I think that if at the beginning, because when they came out and they said Bridge Guy, the pictures of Bridge Guy, at first they said he was a man that was in the area at that time, and that it was that the video was taken by a trail cam. They said it was taken by a trail cam because they didn't want that suspect to know he was a suspect. They didn't want him to know how they got that video, because if he had known it came off of her phone, you see, he wouldn't have came in and talked to him. But they were saying if that guy's out there, if he could contact us, it would be a help of maybe what he's seen, something like that. Then they came out because they seen that was not going to happen. And they said, well, the person that's in the Bridge Guy photos is somebody that we're calling a person of interest. Okay. They never called him suspect. They did say that he is suspect in the crime, but he is a person of interest. Now, when they came out with that and they had went through the audio and the video, then they knew he was the suspect. Now, at that time, had they released that snippet, the video of him taking that 1.5 steps in its clear format, they would have got him. That's their screw up. But I don't think it dealt anything with the release of photos or video, aside of the fact of what they should have did up front. I mean, that's really the best explanation that I can give, but that's just my thoughts. Oh, Alaska's leaving? Oh, hang on a second. All right. Hey, thanks for being here, Alaska, man. I appreciate you modding. You are the best, man. Literally the greatest mod a person has. We'll see you next week, man. Peace. Not you guys. We're still on, but just,
Well, and I understand now better than ever. And some of this stuff happened, prior to the time that I was even interested in Delphi. I happened to watch a murder over in Ohio.
Yeah.
And the trials over there are on hold, and so I looked for something else, and here popped Delphi. But the most interesting thing, I think, is doing some of the research and trying to think out of the box, because this is kind of an out of the box type of case. There isn't much that's been normal about it, and I think it will always be known as the murder case that went unsolved for over 3 years, with a picture, the voice, and whatever other evidence that they were able to get from the crime scene, and security videos, whatever else they have, that has gone on unsolved for 3 years. And it's going to be the only case where there's audio, video.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
And I think they could have had him had they released an original audio, if they could. There may have been inappropriate parts of his conversation, and that I understand. But the video without any audio on it would have made much more sense to me to be released than what they did. Unless there's going to be a reason that I can't even guess at as to why they did it quite this way. And that I guess I won't understand until they file charges. I just don't think that's going to be possible for them to admit or say anything about. But with that, I know you're running over, and I will certainly let you go. And we will chat again soon, if that's okay.
Probably tonight.
Okay.
As becomes like a norm, we kind of
it has been real.
we usually talk about every night on this, and it keeps my mind working on it. So yeah, I will talk to you soonly, man. Thank you for calling, and that was a very good question, man. Thanks for bringing that to my attention. And that is concerning the. Oh, she just hung up. And that is on this right here. That timestamp right there. Phone, work with me, man, not against me. Thank you. This right here, 113:15. And when you play that, it goes 2 to 3. This here being seconds, minutes, and this is 113 hours. Very peculiar. I am going to ask a friend of mine his thoughts on it and to get an explanation. He's the guy that works with computers. He understands how that operates. And he would probably be a person that could tell me how that was got, like with that long on it. But then I will also as well probably call somebody at Indiana State Police to get an explanation that they may have on it. If you have a final question for me, please call this number right here, and we will get to it before I end the show. Do it now. The king does not like to wait. No, I don't. I don't like to wait. I really don't, man. Actually, I go mushroom hunting with a friend of mine, and he walks so slow, man. And I'll walk up to the mailbox. You want to go with me? Or are you going to walk normal? Man, this guy's taller than I am. I'm like, dude, I don't walk in reverse, man. Okay, it's one foot in front of the other. He's like 35. I'm like, damn, dude. Eat calories, man. Eat meat or something. Catch the hell up. All right, now back to the question that you had, Sasha. Let me scroll back up to that. Oh, yeah, right. Because they had said no imminent danger and so on like that. The phone was pinging around Delphi. Yes, and I would like to say, because I did at the time, okay, that was a bold statement for the sheriff to make, that there was no danger. Well, that was wrong. There was a killer out there. They knew that. They knew that the man wasn't arrested. They didn't know who it was. And in order to say that, you would have to know who it was, know that they was behind bars or something like that. And they did not, because they did not know who it was at that time. That was right after the murders. However, the thing with the phone, and again, I reiterate the fact that I think it was Mike Patty who had said that the phone was pinging around Delphi. That is fact. They was pinging the phone to find out where it was. And it was pinging around Delphi. But mind you, she put the phone on video record. That burns a battery. Now, that battery is going to go for so long, okay? And then it's going to die. By the time that it was noticed that they was legitimately missing, they weren't where they should be. Law enforcement was called. They was pinging that phone. That battery was dead. Now, it does not give you an exact GPS coordinates where you could just walk right to it. It was pinging around Delphi, meaning like, okay, it wasn't like over in Kokomo or elsewhere or anything like that. But that by itself is one thing. It was pinging around Delphi. They knew it was not out elsewhere, that it was around Delphi. Because when you triangulate, it's going to give you an area, okay? But if that battery's dead, you might get this area. It might be over here a little bit. It might, it's not going to give you its exact location. That's what I'm getting at here. Now, but then to come out and say, well, there's no imminent danger. I mean, hey, play your cards correctly and all like that, but everybody's fine. That's a bold statement. And I still say that to this day. I wouldn't have said that. I would have said, look, there is somebody that committed this crime. We don't know right now who it is. We are working on that. Do your best to stay safe and everything that you do. You know, keep an eye to your kids. Should they be out? If they're going, you know, stuff like that. But I wouldn't have said it like that. It was a bold statement that I would not have made. I'm different. You know, I am not the sheriff yet. But there is a chance of me running after they announce the suspect. My channel will be gone by then because they're not going to have it up for you to watch after the facts come out. But I got all of it downloaded so I can re-upload it or put it on Google Drive and share it out anyway. Thank you. Because they're not going to end this channel the same way they did my last one. And you know what I got to say about that? Family friendly. Okay, nobody's calling in with the question. So, everybody, I appreciate everybody viewing this video. All viewers, anybody who came, everybody that liked, anybody that shared, you're the bomb. And I dedicate this show out to you guys. Incognito, Sue Wright, and Alaska Blue Man. You guys rock at moderating. I do have a video. If anybody remembers back, I went out there and I took 3 hikes out there all the way down and around. And that was from the victims' point of view, not with the killer or anything in it, but it was just their walk down and across the bridge. Oh, hang on. Got another call. Hang tight, everybody. Hello.
It's Incognito Society.
It's Incognito Society, everybody. Yes.
You can't hang up yet. You can't be done yet.
All right. You got me. Okay. So what's going on out there, society?
Hey, I must have missed the update on TB at the beginning. So could you do me a repeat?
Well, yes, actually. Right here. Are you watching the video?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, crap. Hang on. I got to pull it back up. 1 second. Let me kill this here real quick. See, everybody's leaving because I said goodbye. So you just popped right in at the wrong second here. All right. This is the what we was discussing right here. This is bridge guy walking across the bridge in the Delphi video from the indiana.gov video. And right down here at the bottom, and this is what Ms. Cav called about. It's got 113, then 15 minutes, and then when you play the video, it goes from 2 to 3 seconds. Basically stating that the entire amount of video was 113 hours, 15 minutes, and so many seconds in. Well, the video itself wasn't like 5 days long. We know that. And she was wondering what those numbers are. And I am quite curious my own self because I don't know why it would have 113 hours. It isn't a timestamp of the crime. It's not military time. Abby's picture was taken at 2:17 p.m. that day. So that doesn't fit in the time at all. So we were quite curious as to what all those numbers there meant.
Yeah, that's a good question.
It is.
If that would figure up to be time-wise, that would be an hour and 53 minutes plus another 15 minutes plus another 3 seconds. So that would end up being like at 3:30 if we were going from the time in which said they were being dropped off. Then that hour and 13 minutes plus the 15 would end up being like 3:31 if I figured it up right. So that would throw everything off. It can't possibly be something from her phone unless it's, a total amount of video that they got from her phone.
But if it was the total amount of video and they took a snippet out of it, it would cut it down to the snippet that they took. It wouldn't show the entire time of all the video. I mean, you see where I'm at. That's kind of what me and Ms. Cav was talking about, that if I put something into a video recorder and I took a 2-second piece out of it and then I shared that out, it would only be 2 seconds long, but it wouldn't show the entirety of the time of the video that I took it from. You see?
Right.
So it's a good question, and I'm going to try to get some answers for it. But just because there's got to be answers to questions. Every rabbit hole finds a rabbit or a wonderland, one or the other.
For sure.
And it may depend on what you took
into
before
that.
you went in the hole too. I just want to throw that out.
I'm always
Do
going
not take the brown acid, people. Don't do it. That shit leads to a bad time. Ask people at Woodstock. Man, they was hearing like Jimi Hendrix play the national anthem and shit. Man, it's nuts. I reminisce to days of old. I wasn't even, hell, I was 4 years old at Woodstock. I wasn't there.
You were there in spirit.
No, I was there in my naps.
Yeah. No, I really enjoyed you and Sue talking that out. It gives a lot of good, like she said, it could be Indiana State Police, their videos and how they've cut things. So I'd be interested in hearing how your guy that you know,
well,
his theory is.
Do you think I should call Doug Carter?
I do.
Because I think Doug Carter would have an explanation, whereas Kim Riley wouldn't. I mean, that's not in his work as to what they do at the headquarters. But Doug Carter, being the man of, he would probably be the man that would have the answer to that question.
Yes, I think he would be the man for the job to call him.
And you are in a better friendship to him than I, because he don't like my questions, but he relates.
Well, he only responded once, so let's not get carried away.
Well, that's more than he ever gave me. When I asked him, he's like, "That's a great question. In fact, blah 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 blah." Next, because he wasn't going to touch my question, man. He wasn't touching that.
Well, hey, I thought when I first came in, I had missed maybe the first 10 minutes or so, and I thought you were saying something about TB being in Alabama. What did I miss there?
Well, now I take this back to Miss Cav, because she was looking through his residence, and she said that he had a phone that's area code was in Rhode Island, and that he may have lived in Alabama. Now, we're kind of unclear as to whether that is maybe the phone that he was using, or if he had actually lived there. So we do want to find that out. But the thing is like when they give you residence, and here's the thing, like in the military, it was the same way. When we went over to Germany, and I was a dependent in the Air Force, when we got to Germany, we was at the Dusseldorf hotel for like, what was that, 2 months? Until our stuff from the United States arrived to where we could take it to base housing. So they housed us in the hotel for like 2 months. Great time there. It was just awesome, man. Great food, best beer, Bitburger. I love Germany. But anyway, you move around a lot when you're in the military. And that would be one reason for having a lot of those. And secondarily, though, when he was not in the military, he still moved quite a bit. I can name 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different addresses in Missouri. And that's over just so many years. He spent a lot of time moving, and I don't really know why. I have no idea why he would have moved that much, but he did.
Yeah, I thought about the insurance salesman aspect of it, but it's not like it's the 1980s with insurance salesmen. They don't really go door to door and sell insurance anymore.
Yeah, exactly. They got a computer to do that.
Right.
Yeah.
You usually go to them rather than they come to you.
Exactly.
I don't know. Okay, well, I just want to see what I missed about that specifically, like, any updates on him whatsoever. But yeah, this has been an interesting live show tonight. So,
well, I do want to point this out that if I had any updates on him, I would have called you.
okay.
I would have said, "Hey, before I make a video on this, you're never going to believe this." So, that's what I do. I usually share it out to people whose numbers I have before I even make a video. But yeah, that was what you missed. She said that she had read that or heard that online and was kind of looking into that. Of course, I went and pulled that up, and it's a good question. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, she's great. I'm glad you got her in on that. She called in.
She usually calls every week, and I appreciate that.
All right. Well, tell her I said hello when you speak to her next, and we'll talk to you later, okay?
Well, thank you for calling, and thank you for modding.
No problem.
Okay, man. You have a good week. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, and with that, everybody, I'm out here. Wait. Let me take that back. I'm not out here just yet. I went out, and I got 3 different videos, and that was from the perspective, the walk that the girls took, the one that the suspect took, the one that Cheyenne took. And now I also did one, but what I did was I used Cheyenne's because she walked down to the bridge and across, same as the girls, but it was from those different perspectives of 4 different videos. Now I can time that because of the information that we have on Cheyenne, the timestamp on the picture she took on the south side of the bridge, the time the girls were dropped off, the time flannel shirt arrived 10 minutes after Cheyenne, and the time that flannel shirt guy saw the suspect walking toward the exit where his car was parked next to the abandoned building, not the abandoned vehicle. That was a misquote, and that was taken back and acknowledged and corrected by Doug Carter that the building was abandoned, not the car. So I got all that, and I'm going to throw that together so that you can take a legitimate look at the timestamp and where people were. I will put that video together this week, is my hope, and get that out to you guys. But until that happens, I will probably talk at you guys next Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Be here. Thank everybody for viewing this, liking, sharing, and so on, because you guys rock. You make this channel happen. And I will see you next Tuesday. Peace, everyone.